Welcome back to Say Nothing, the podcast bringing you an exclusive serialization of this gripping audiobook. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or following along chapter by chapter, settle in, get comfortable, and enjoy the ride. If you can't wait for the next episode, or you'd like to experience Say Nothing in full, you can purchase the complete book right now. Just follow the link in the description. Chapter 8. Jack bemoaned his failing memory. As he looked out the window, he could see a figure approach from down the road. Was this the same person as yesterday? His eyesight was poor, and the bright sunshine added glare through the window. It had been a good day so far. The phone call from Sarah had made him positive about tackling anything. If things continued in this way, there was a chance he could recapture that lust for living which, in recent times, had been ebbing away. Still, he needed to determine who it was approaching the property and who, in the case of it being nothing, the original figure was. He decided that there was nothing to do but watch. Years of training had taught him that often doing nothing was a valuable trait and an unrivaled way to learn. This same knowledge meant he knew the vantage point he had was poor, and that the bedroom window upstairs would offer a far greater view. Assuming his body would let him, there was time to reach the room before the figure was at the end of the driveway. He turned and began to walk. His body creaked and his muscles ached. Things were deteriorating quickly, and he couldn't wait to have some guidance or medication to help him manage the disease. While it was folly to expect that things would become simple and that his body, as well as his mind, would return to the condition of old, Jack held on to the hope that he would be able to function in a way that didn't hinder his life each and every day. Reaching the base of the stairs, the summit seemed a daunting distance. It would be a matter of pulling himself to the peak as quickly as he could, hoping that the prime opportunity to observe the mystery figure wouldn't be missed. The first few steps would prove the most problematic. His joints felt stiff from the inactivity of the morning and took a while to get working. Eventually, he had managed to counter the pain of his limbs and was ascending the stairs at a moderate pace. Mind over matter, he thought. I can do this. I won't let you down. At the top of the stairs, he felt almost embarrassed at his sense of achievement. Well done, Jack, he said aloud. You've managed something a 2-year-old could do. This humor was the first time since he sat with Julia in the coffee shop that he had managed to laugh. The happiness he felt from talking to Sarah radiated from his core, but an actual laugh was now an occurrence that was few and far between. He had made it to the landing, and now he just had to continue his journey to the bedroom. As he walked through the doorway, there was a change in his mindset. He'd pushed himself to make it to the bedroom, and he could feel that the energy he exerted meant there was an urgency about the need. As he crossed the threshold of the bedroom door, his mind was blank. Why had I come in here, he thought. He cursed himself as he stood in the doorway. Though he knew this was a common experience, it was just another indication of what was to become more frequent. He'd yet to receive the prescription for his levodopa, and the longer he waited, he thought, the worse it would get. Even then, Jack had become paranoid about what he had read about the drug. The common side effects of confusion and hallucinations, plus his predisposition to mood swings, caused added worry that the struggle he faced would be overwhelming. No, he thought. I must not let these thoughts enter my mind. I need to stay focused and positive. As he pleaded with his own mind and struggled to take command of his nervous system, he saw out of the corner of his eye a figure appearing before his property. Yes, he thought, this is why I'm here. He shuffled towards the window and peered down at the man. He was certain it was the same person as before, the improved angle of vision and bright sunlight revealing his facial figures. What does he want, and why does he just stand and stare? He thought to himself. Watching as the stranger's head tilted upwards and his eyes fixed on a solitary position of the property, a cold chill ran down Jack's spine. As much as he wanted to approach the figure and demand an explanation, he knew that his impaired mobility would, as before, hinder any such attempt. Instead, he decided to document the situation. He turned to the wardrobe and grabbed the suitcase. Inside, he found his digital camera, a DSLR with optical zoom. Though it was hardly the most sophisticated piece of equipment, he knew that it was powerful enough to achieve his aims. Camera in hand, Jack pulled the chair from Judy's dressing table to the side of the window. It would be tough to shoot through the net curtain without piquing the figure's attention, but Jack was determined to try. He edged the lens up the wall and made his first attempt to peer through the curtain. His hands began to shake as he edged the device ever closer. "Come on, Jack, you can do this!" He took a moment to compose himself. There had been a time when he had nerves of steel. The things he'd seen meant he had the will to tackle anything. Just get a hold of yourself and take it slowly. The figure outside the house stood bolt upright, just watching. There wasn't a flicker of awareness as Jack snapped away. Jack must have captured more than 20 images of the stranger outside, the thrill of investigation returning. Since retirement, there had been no way to capture the excitement of his work. For some 30-odd years, he'd been in the thick of action, always the first to respond. Though things had changed and he was placed in some uncompromisingly difficult situations as part of his role, the one constant that kept him going back for more was this thrill. And now, here it was, triggered by the presence of a stranger outside his home. Not ideal, he thought, but at least he had a purpose on which to fixate. He knew that would need some help to identify this individual and determine his motives. But unlike many, he had the contacts to help with the investigation, contacts that owed him a debt. As soon as he had the images uploaded, he would place a few calls. Thank you for listening to this excerpt from Say Nothing, a compelling thriller currently available on Amazon. Follow the link in the description to order your copy today. Please like and review this podcast and recommend to your friends. Don't forget to tune in again and join us for the next chapter.